Hello! Hi Kimono, hi Avery, hi Gray! Welcome back. And hello, how are you guys? Hi Kimono! Welcome back. Can I get an audio check please? Hi Epic Pikachu! How is everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Audio is good, thank you. It's okay. Caps are okay. Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe? Just on the other side of the fountain, sir. Oh. Oh. Well, getting lots of work done. Nice, nice. I'm also doing good. We had a little bit of hail this morning, I think. Because it was like stormy. It's not storming anymore, so hopefully there's no blackout. Like there was last time. But, yeah, so we got a little bit of hail. Which is, it's not great, but we take it, I suppose. It didn't last for very long. Rare weather pull, yeah. Usually around springtime, spring and summer is like our hail season, and it's really weird, because why hail in summer? But it'd be that way. Yeah, dead badger indeed. Look at him. He's just smiling away. Doing okay? I'm glad to hear that. We take okay. Was it out here in the open all along? No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly. Then let's get down to it. Alright, I see a necklace. What do we have here? Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby's made of platinum silver too. Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. Is it possible that these two... Who is this? Hold it right there. Oh, of course it's long. Of course it's long. Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? A pendant, huh? This is very decisive. This is a very decisive piece of evidence. How can you tell? Look here and read off what you see. Lauren D. Lauren? Hey, it's a name that's engraved on this. It's shaped like a pair of wigs. Lauren D is engraved on the back. Miss Pops' pendant. Hi. Aha! We have you now, Miss Kidnapper. No, you don't understand. I don't remember what voice I gave him. Lolly, I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers. Lance. You're kidding! Miss Pops was one of the kidnappers? Yes. It was me. I held Lance hostage. So Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved. Or over. Hey guys, case closed. Get the car ready. And I mean the special one for this young lady.
Hold it!
Again, Mr. Prosecutor? What is it this time? Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. We found it. Found what? That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. No way, case closed like the manga, hey yo. I've never read or watched Conan, but I know it's popular. We have any Conan enjoyers in the chat? Your country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. Who you calling a sham? The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. So Officer Meekins had been cleared of all charges, I see. And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. Read it as a kid, I don't recall any plot besides one case. That's fair. There's a lot of them. It's really long. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him. I can't believe it. Thanks for the confession. Agent Long, it's much too early to declare this case closed. Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. Among us? Very sus. What more could you ask for? Miss Lauren Pops.
Yes?
I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder.
But why? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. Isn't that enough?
Girl, where did you get those scissors? Put them down. It's fine if you are the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. That's crazy. Yeah, it's okay if you're the murderer, as long as you're not lying to me. Yeah, exactly. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't? I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as the losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today. Haircut, she could be a bald friend. Ayo, that's crazy. No. It's not a razor. Miss Pops' confession.
The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Amano would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
Bald, no! No bald. There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I can at least respect that much. Miss Pops, is what you said really the truth? SpongeBob reference. SpongeBob is bald, and so is Squid. Is there I think. Are there SpongeBob characters with hair? Are they all bald? No, they're not, right? Pearl has hair, right? I think. Blonde, no? But most of them are bald.
Yes, it is.
That's the truth. It certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there's something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. Oh boy, okay. One who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler. We knew that we could get rich, okay. He would pay anything to get his son back. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me. Okay. What's wrong, Kay?
I can't believe she was betrayed.
Miss Puff. Yeah.
I kind of feel sorry for her.
I feel a little sorry for her too. However, I also wish she would tell us the whole truth. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. But I'll give it another careful listen and see. Okay, Edgeworth.
Hold it!
How well did you know the victim?
I've spoken with him only a few times at Lance's house.
A few times? That's it?
Yes.
If they only met a few times, I don't see how they could have trusted each other.
But if you hardly ever talked, then how could he trust you to not to steal his plan?
That's completely irrelevant. He was planning to betray her from the very beginning. Which is why he chose someone he wasn't especially close to. Isn't that right, Sheena? We never found out who Pearl's mom is either. Very sus.
Yes, however, Mr. Deacon made a very poor choice. In the end, he was killed by the one he intended to betray himself.
Bet he didn't see that one coming. Okay. I feel like that's the statement, but I'm gonna press the others just in case. You knew? How did you know something like that?
Ah! Oh no, what should I do?
Kay, what's wrong with her now?
Come on, isn't it obvious? You're making your scary face again, that's why. Why don't you try asking her in a nicer, more gentle way? No, stop it, Lauren. You're always like this. You always fall for the stern-looking one. That's why you'll always be unhappy. Or maybe that's it. She's been bewitched by your icy glare.
Mind your own business, Kay. Now then, Miss Pops, let's continue with your testimony. Ooh, sorry.
Oh, yes, of course.
Go on. Go back.
Hold it!
Why did you believe that?
Anyone who knows Mr. Amano would think the same. I bet Lance is that old man's greatest treasure.
I suppose he would be a doting He would be to a doting father like Mr. Amano.
I always figured that was it too, and I was always envious of Lance for it. Oh, because your dad's... I got this pendant from my father, and I believe that as long as I have this, I'll find my father again someday. He'll welcome me into his arms riding on the back of Pegasus.
That pendant, she must truly believe it to be the wings of Pegasus. Okay.
Hold it!
Would you mind telling us a little about the plan itself?
Well, first we captured Lance.
Ooh, how'd you do that?
Well, Mr. Deacon did that on his own, so I don't quite know.
Bah! And here I thought you knew how to steal people away. I shudder to think what she would do with such knowledge. Kay, the kidnapper?
Sorry, I really don't know, but somehow Mr. Deacon was able to contain him. All we had to do after that was wait for the ransom to be paid, but...
Hold it!
Why do you think he did?
I have no idea, but maybe he planned on doing so from the very beginning. Miss Pops.
It's actually a planned episode where a mom would be revealed, but Stephen Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob, was strongly against revealing her, so the episode was shelved never to be finished. Why? Why? Why is this mother lore so secretive? Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning. Was that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yes, sir! I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely.
Huh?
I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you.
But why? We were total strangers. It's not uncommon for people to...
Excuse me, what? It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over money. Okay, I see. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Miss Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You never knew what your role in this kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. It's not uncommon to kill people? I know. It skipped over it, and I was like, huh? What do you mean? No idea, that's something only he knows, and he passed away, so he may never know. Huh, interesting. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pops. Hans.
Take that!
Why are you showing this to me?
So what about the pendant? This horse pendant, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are. Wing.
Take that!
These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, you're right. They're the same color and they're even made of the same material.
I believe that these two pendants are actually one.
Eh?
Shall we give it a try?
Wow, it's totally Pegasus. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's?
You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be.
No, that can't be.
So the two make a set. It's just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything. You lack imagination, Agent Long. Very well. I'll show you with this evidence. Hans. I love Hans. Also, if he attacked her, this is a textbook case of self-defense. This is true, but Edgeworth is saying that there's no way he could have attacked her. The piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant. I don't know. Body was moved. Is it this? Wife and sole daughter. I guess this.
Take that!
Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Devore, the name that is etched on the horse pendant. What? An alias? I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense, given what is written in Mr. Devore's dossier. Dossier? Dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this. This specific section, huh? What? This specific section is what reveals the true meaning behind those pendants. Aha, sole daughter.
Take that!
Mr. Devore had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pops.
That's a lie! That person was not my father!
He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot? Ha 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 ha! And what is so funny, Agent Long? You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you? What are you trying to say? Your thinking is much too innocent. After all, I thought of another possibility. Is that so? Well, let's hear it. Another possibility. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well?
But then, why kill?
So this is his version of how things might have been. You don't have any proof that they didn't know of their true relationship, right?
And you're saying that the two of them committed the kidnapping together.
That's right, as one really rotten family. Is that really what happened? I'd better take a long, hard look at the evidence.
Okay. Evidence. Let's see. Prosecutor's badge. Map. Bad Badger head. Badger photo rally. Blue Badger Bible. Costumes. They stole 3. Murder notes. That's called slander, true. Haunts. Blue Badger mobile. Victim's costume. The love letter. We've looked at that already. Broken prop sword. Missing model gun. And pendant. Okay. I'm getting very little from this. He was 50. Murder victim, a felon, was separated from his daughter, Lauren Pops. 19. Lance Amano's girlfriend, one of the kidnappers, separated from her real father, Deacon. High schooler studying in Europe to become a forensic scientist on school break. Why do we not know how old she is? The lady inside the pink badger, I believe her real name is Wendy Oldbag. Okay. They both knew that. Okay, press.
Hold it!
You think they knew? Yeah, I don't think only the victim knew. I think the girl realized it as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they had to pretend that they didn't. Because he was on the lam. You got it. The victim couldn't exactly go around flaunting who he was. Furthermore.
Okay.
Hold it!
One is a butler, and one is the friend of the son, you mean?
Just a friend? Okay.
They probably thought that was their best shot. Is that what you honestly believe? Of course.
Ah.
Hold it!
You mean how they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives? Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair. The butler and the girlfriend. No one would ever suspect that they were, in fact, family. Yes, from the very beginning, they painstakingly practiced those roles well.
2 of them, but we have 3 costumes missing. Maybe? Maybe. I'm going to save. Back. Present. Costumes.
Objection!
Haha!
This kidnapping wasn't planned by just 2 people alone. And what kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers. 3?! 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout. But as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group. And I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. Who? Who is this mastermind? I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping.
They won't let me save! Alright, Lance. Bye-bye.
Take that!
Lance Amano? Yes, this abduction was, in fact, schemed up by Lance himself. Recall what he said when he appeared before us. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces, but 2. One was a woman. However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said. But I know I only saw 2 people. This guy was being held hostage. It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them. Ah, yes, about when you were being held. I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive? I really don't remember much anymore, honest. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you?
Lance's testimony.
I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room, blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could.
Not the peak.
Through the underground passageway, I presume. You okay? Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but... But now you believe me, right? No, not quite yet. Ah! How could you not? Why do you look at me with such icy daggers in your eyes? Because he's a prosecutor, and because they're all like that. I'll have you know, Agent Long, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And should they be interpreted as cruel at times, then so be it. There's a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push it a little.
Okay. Look at his ears. He takes after his dad. That's crazy. Yesterday morning. Okay. Let me click. Hello?
Hold it!
Okay.
Can you tell us about when you were abducted in a little more detail? It was a strange morning. I felt like I was right in the middle of a great calm. And where were you when you experienced this calm? Our family garden, of course! Where else could it have been? Well, excuse me for asking. This child is more princess than prince. I was out taking a walk to shake off the morning blah. Then, out of the blue, someone from behind clamps a hand over my mouth. You didn't see your attacker. They must have used some drug to knock me out, because before I knew it, I was off in La La Land again. When I woke up, I was in the kidnapper's hideout already, all tied up.
The entire time. Then how did you know there were 2 kidnappers?
Hold it!
By that room, you mean the room in the kidnapper's hideout, correct? Yes, but I was blindfolded the whole time, so I didn't know that until I made my escape. Then you were in the same room as your kidnappers. They spoke in hushed tones, but I could catch bits of their conversation.
A little, but he doesn't have the world's longest earlobes like his dad. Yeah, they're getting there. Maybe they'll grow.
It was definitely 2 people, and one of them was definitely a woman. I was so scared. I could tell they were nearby, so I didn't dare make a move.
Hold it!
The kidnappers disappeared. The room fell into sudden silence. I'd been left behind like an unwanted mutt. And what do you mean by unwanted mutt?
What a pointless question. It's not like he's going to tell you anything new, you know.
It's a poetic simile. You should learn how to use them, too. You may look refined on the outside. Not the wind! But it's no good if you're not refined on the inside as well.
Not present. Press.
Hold it!
Then those cuffs on your wrists. I suppose you are still cuffed in that. You are still cuffed in that case. I am well aware of how I am chained to reality. I couldn't find the key, so I'm afraid that I'm stuck like this. Even though I escaped from that jail cell, I will forever be a prisoner.
That's crazy.
Hold it!
How did you manage to escape? I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked, which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape. I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I mustn't let it go unexamined.
The door leading outside was locked tight, so I had to use the underground passageway. Aha! The door was not locked. Sword!
Objection!
You say that the door leading outside was locked, but it wasn't really.
That's crazy. Sir?
We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard it took quite a few men to get that thing open. Right, Sheena?
Yes, that's correct.
And take a look at this. What is that? A sword? It's not an especially reliable one if it's broken like that. Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by this sword, which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why did you not just simply remove the sword and escape? Why didn't I? I was disoriented. Yes, that's it. I didn't notice it. As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to the door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own. You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way. And what would that be? A motive, what else? Do you honestly think that an upright, pure boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself?
Pointless, sir.
Objection!
Money.
This proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit this crime. Tender lender!
Take that!
Upright, pure, I know. That's crazy. To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is in fact a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance? Oh!
Looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man, too. It must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your own old man, huh?
Oh, all right, I give up. I abducted myself.
Lance!
It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that 1 million, but now, that dream is over.
Oh, Lance!
And you're giving yourself up. Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with a plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you. Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money. That's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. Couldn't just ask his dad to help with the debt? I guess not. He really didn't want his dad to know. His dad thought it was a love letter, so... After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the blue badger costume. Go, old man! Rah! Fight! Win! That would mean the person Officer Meekin saw was Miss Pops. But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then Oliver put on a bad badger costume, took the suitcase with $1 million and ran! I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. They had no idea that they were related, so I thought that it could only end badly.
I still don't believe it! That person is not my father! Because if he was, I just killed my own father!
Lolly, then it really was you? Chain of events.
That man was not my father! I mean, because at the stadium...
I'm doing his hand gesture right now and it's something. Who Lance's?
There was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot. The other person crumpled to the ground and I ran, scared for my life.
Yeah, the 2-finger up, pull on the ribbon. Beautiful, beautiful. Is it working? Does it work? I think the big picture's finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you!
So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was?
If what she says is true.
Are you saying she's lying? But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve?
You would be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see.
Okay.
There was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. Okay.
Hold it!
That was the ransom money, wasn't it?
Yes, that's how I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It was all thanks to what Lance told me.
And what did he tell you?
Well, he called me on my cell phone and told me that Mr. Deacon had betrayed us and had run off with the ransom money. And about how he had a gun.
Hold it!
Were you able to clearly see the gun?
Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me? Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth?
I don't know.
I don't want to believe it myself. But it's true. My father's left arm was raised with a gun in it.
Left arm. That's his right arm.
Pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought.
Miss Pops, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then, would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time?
Yes, of course.
Aha! Is it this one? Or is it... That's the missing model gun, so I assume it's this. No! Now the one time I don't save. Screams. Okay. He pointed his left hand. The gun in his left hand. Okay, that doesn't show anything. Is it this? But that's... That's just a missing gun, though. Why was I wrong? Present. Oh my gosh, I did not mean to do that. Good thing I saved. I wanted to look at it, but now I know it's not that. Okay, present. Bad Badger Oliver Deacon, okay. I mean, I guess it's this? Huh? What? Am I supposed to press it? Or is it... Wait. Is Oliver left-handed? Dominant hand right. Is that what they want from me? Okay then. Okay then. I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed. Ah, then. The person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held a real gun with was his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that? Agent Long, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it. Enough with the smugness. Out with it already. Miss Pops told us earlier. There was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops? Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face. But if that's the case, then even I can see there's a huge contradiction. Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger, and yet the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. It wasn't the Bad Badger. Both hands were not occupied. Both are correct. Ha. It's not the Bad Badger. Or at least, the body is not, surely. Miss Pops, what you saw was not the Bad Badger. Think back and recall which character it was that leveled a gun at you. That's crazy. Fine, both are correct then. They are both correct. Impossible! That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction. Miss Pops' entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there was a way for the Bad Badger to freely use both of his hands. Costumes separate into head and body? Question mark?
Take that!
The costumes have two parts to them, a head and the body.
Oh, I get it now.
The head Miss Pops saw was probably really the head of the Bad Badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger? A different badger? Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the Bad Badger. Proto. Because Lauren was wearing this one. And Meekins was wearing the other. What the heck is it? It's the Proto Badger. Yes, and it's a simple matter of the process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the Blue Badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the Pink Badger is of the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the Proto Badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the Proto Badger costume? That would be
Lance!
Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the Bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon. On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing? The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that. A setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she would pull the trigger. Ha ha ha! I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have had to do all that, huh? There is but one reason. Lance Amano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. What?
No!
That's slander! Take it back! You take it back right now! Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed, but what does that have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held a gun in his left hand. Huh. Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the Proto-Badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right? Of course, logically, if he'd been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet. Aha!
Take that!
We found one half of the Bad Badger costume in the hideout, a broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the Bad Badger carries, which can fire blanks. What? Miss Pops, where's the gun you use now?
I threw it away into the sea.
That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although, I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question.
That's crazy.
I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. Oh gosh. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove that I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I'm right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right, and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame.
Please, wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in the state of being restrained.
What Miss Pops saw? I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door.
That's crazy!
After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape.
So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right?
We thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone.
Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time. There's the bow pull. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pop saw the victim with her own eyes. Which means that the victim was still alive at that time, wouldn't you agree? Why did that sound wrong to me? Just do the hand thing yourself. Can't tell if my carpal tunnel hates me, but it's not a comfortable pose. If I see it again, I'll try. There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail. Edgeworth. You were in the other room, Edgeworth! It's not him!
Hold it!
You were sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw?
Yes, I'm certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul.
And are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself?
I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a Bad Badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. That just had to be Mr. Deacon.
She saw a Bad Badger head.
That's crazy. Ah! So I'm sure it was Mr. Deacon. Girl!
Hold it!
No, not... Oh, well, okay. So the tied-up Mr. Deacon was still in his Bad Badger costume.
Yes, and?
It would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? Yes. The person you saw was not the victim.
What? Why not?
I will tell you why not with this. This, Miss Pops, shows us the person you saw was not the victim.
Take that!
Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all.
Huh?
The person you actually saw was this person.
Kay Faraday, Lance Amano, Miles Edgeworth.
It was me.
Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth?
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me, even after I'd handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at the time. Well, Lance, am I right?
That's...
You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a bad badger's head on, and then made your costume to escape together, or so you pretended.
Huh? What do you mean he pretended?
Exactly that.
Ah!
I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout, probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self.
Ugh.
And to create his fake prison with a prop sword. Then he escaped via the passageway. Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of the Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave? We've heard a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment. All of that could have happened while you were out cold.
That's right! You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor!
Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam.
I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth.
You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing. Grr. Who said that? Please, wait. Mr. Amano.
Ho ho ho, Miles, my boy. It looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others. Dad! Let's see. You are the one in charge of the investigation, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you.
Oh, do you now?
Hey, yo!
Is that what I think it is?
It's the Bad Badger costume the victim was wearing! And a gun! It's wet. I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears that they were disposed of in the sea.
Ugh, is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law?
There. Now. Ah! Agent Long, please calm down.
What the heck is that scrap of paper?
This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Amano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says.
What? The Chief of Police? What the? Just who does he think he is?
The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
Oh, there now. There's no need to be so upset. I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country.
I don't think that's how that works, but okay.
Now. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything. It's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. Ugh, I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. Alright now, let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren. What? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. That's it. These are the case-making pieces of evidence. I'll be the judge of that.
Bullet?
This bullet hole.
It looks kind of burnt around the edges.
Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is a most important fact.
Why's that?
Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range.
Born at the time of the shooting, gunpowder burn is proof he was shot from point blank.
What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume head.
Hey, they sparkle! I bet they're really valuable.
Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in here?
These were found inside the victim's costume. Why were they there in the first place? How'd they get in the head?
Could this be the actual murder weapon?
Used to kill Deacon, was originally stolen from guard by victim during escape.
Well, aren't these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen? Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there.
Decisive evidence.
Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. And they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So, Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense.
I cannot bend my fingers that way. I can't bend my pinky finger and not have my ring finger straight. Or I can with one hand, but not the other. I can do it with my left, but not my right. Everybody is obligated to try this now. I could do it with my left hand, but not my right.
The fingerprints on the weapon, huh?
Oh no! This isn't helpful at all.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however. I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You wound me. Why won't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence?
Same? Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird.
Okay.
There are fingerprints on the murderous gun.
Hold it!
Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops?
There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensics techniques money can buy performed.
I find that to be a bit peculiar.
What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? I can have it like parallel to the floor, but it won't bend on the right hand. Yeah, mine just doesn't. I have, like, if I'm going to bend it, I have to have like the end of it touch my palm, so that it's like holding it down.
Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pops' prints should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Pops' prints should not be on the gun is... costume! Costume, costume, costume.
Take that!
It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume.
Huh?
But there's been no mistake! We found fingerprints! Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all... at any time?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deegan when he and Lance left for the haunted house.
To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Pops' prints found their way onto the gun. Grrr. You understand now, Mr. Amano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer. But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer.
Oh, Lance!
What? No way! I'm incredibly worried about her! But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence. What? How? The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage at the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true, because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all.
This?
Take that!
This piece of evidence.
No! Frick. It's at least a 6.8 out of 10. That's crazy.
At this rate, Lolly's going to wind up getting arrested.
Think clearly. If the murder did not happen at the stadium, then the scenario where the victim was up on the stadium, Miss Pops was down below. There must be something that invalidates it. Ha! Okay. Oh, gunpowder burn.
Take that!
Let us take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then, I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it.
This.
Take that!
The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range.
Ah! So then, you mean the murder Miss Oldbag saw at the stadium really was...
Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Ugh! Look at you, Mr. Smartypants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then? Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were at, just before I was imprisoned, was... I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here.
Yippee!
Take that!
I think it's not unreasonable to assume that the murder took place at the haunted house. Haunted house? Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely that the victim was killed there.
What proves that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house? Is that the glass? I'm scared, but they won't let me save.
These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror. A mirror? And what does that have to do with anything? Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume.
Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous.
However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance Amano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with a revolver in the haunted house!
It's like Clue!
After that, you stole the Blue Badger Mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badger Mobile was stolen confirms this as fact. Miles, my boy, say no more. I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that. Be quiet. Yes, please, do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. Ernest Amano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you? I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call those mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout?
Yes, there was a mirror there. A mirror, that's for the haunted house.
You see? Isn't it possible the fragments got into the costume in there? But Agent Long, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. Probability? Long Zi says, on Truth's Path, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is, do you have the definitive proof you need?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you?
Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no. See? So since you don't have any, shut up! I don't have the evidence yet, but... certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house besides myself were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder.
What now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Agent Long, I have a special request. Yeah? I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house.
Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission?
Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth. Alright, permission granted. But you're not to touch a single thing, got it? That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is the truth being brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is. Sheena! I'm here. Put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately. Understood.
I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval.
Who was that? Now. Let's hold on for a second. There's no need to obtain approval. Mr. Amano. Agent Long, if you would please take a look at this. What is this? Sheena!
Can he not read?
It's the deed for the haunted house. The deed. Read it out loud.
Gatewater Land Incorporated hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million paid in full in cash.
What? Oh, as you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house.
Are you kidding? When did you?
I ran into the owner of the park earlier, and we made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. That's that $1 million you paid. Don't tell me it was... Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. You used the ransom money. My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you would please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What is there to discuss? Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course. We were busy listening to Lance's story. Mr. Amano was out there preempting us. Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Long, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper. Mr. Amano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever.
And they're gonna leave us on that cliffhanger?
Just kidding, we continue. If I can't get permission to investigate the crime scene, then the truth will be lost. Bruh, I know, this is crazy. We've solved it, but please.
Hold it, hold it, hold it.
Okay.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing spacing out? Have you forgotten? There's only one thing you should do at a time like this.
And what is that?
When the people are in a bind, the hero of justice appears to save the day. Look, you just leave it to me. For I am Kay Faraday, the second of the great Yatagarasu.
But I thought you were a thief, not a hero.
The Yatagarasu is noble and is always a thief of justice.
That's... of course.
If we have enough information, I can recreate the inside of the haunted house with this. Plus, if we then factor in everyone's testimony...
You can recreate exactly what happened when I dropped off the ransom money. We may be able to figure out some new information through this. It's worth a try. Agent Long. So you want to use your little toy? Be my guest.
Okay, hang on. You're all about to witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Kay for the win. I love her so much.
Detective Gumshoe, is there a copy of the haunted house's blueprint among the police's reference documents?
Yes, sir. We got it just in case we needed it for the kidnapping case. All right, I'll input the haunted house data then. Best girl, look at her go.
What is this? Where are we? It's like we're inside the haunted house! Even if we can't inspect the real location itself, the path to the truth slumbers here. If I can successfully navigate my way using logic, I'll ultimately arrive at the truth. Now then, I believe I'm ready to investigate the crime scene.
Whee! Okay, what should I recreate first?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Maybe I have and maybe I haven't, but I'm going to make you do all the hard work.
Very well, I'd like to inspect the moment in which I was ambushed by my abductor. The two of them were definitely in this place at that time. If I can verify that, it may provide me with a new lead. I had just come out into the hallway after leaving the money inside the dining room. At the time, I saw a badger slumped over on the floor at the end of the hallway.
Eh? What was a badger doing all the way down there?
I also thought it strange. However, I thought that maybe it was simply a mannequin that was set there for the atmosphere.
You know which badger it was?
No, it was too dark to tell. All I saw was its silhouette. Ernest, darn you young'uns and your newfangled devices, exactly.
In that case, I guess I'll just program a badger silhouette in there for now. Okay, programming complete.
There it is. Then I started walking towards the exit.
And that's when you were struck from behind, right?
Yes.
But that's odd. The hallway is a dead end. Where did your assailant come from?
There's only one location I can think of. I believe my assailant was lying in wait here. Ah!
Badger.
Take that!
That doll I saw wasn't really a doll. It was in fact a costumed kidnapper.
Oh, so he used the costume as the perfect camouflage to blend in with the rest of the house.
Precisely. He waited until I had made the drop-off and was about to leave. Then, just as he saw me take a step backward towards the exit, he stood and launched his attack. I could think of no better hiding place than this.
Hey, not bad. I'm beginning to think I should steal this tactic for myself.
Just don't use it to do anything criminal, okay? Bonk! Well, Lance, why are you asking me for? As one of the kidnappers, I figured I should give you the chance to confess first. I was one of the kidnappers, but I don't know anything. I did come up to the haunted house, but I never set foot inside. I left Oliver in charge of picking up the ransom money. You didn't set foot inside. Is he telling the truth, or is this another lie?
Hi, Draven, how are you?
Alright, you're claiming that it was Mr. Deacon who assaulted me then. Yes, I'm sure it was him.
Okay, inputting the new info now. Mr. Deacon was the Bad Badger, right? Since the Bad Badger has a gun attached to its right hand, I'll have to change it so the weapon is in his left hand.
I want to verify the facts of this recreation. Let's go. Badger. You didn't recreate the weapon.
Well, I can't exactly recreate something I know nothing about. So tell me, what were you hit with?
The attack came from behind, so I have no idea. But I doubt it was someone's bare hands.
Okay. Then where were you hit?
I was hit on the right side of my head, just above my temple. There was a bit of blood, but it wasn't anything serious.
Ouch! Sounds painful.
Why are you smirking like that when you say it?
Balloon animal? Yeah, it looks like it. It's just your imagination. Now let's see. I wonder if there's anything in the hallway that could have been used as a weapon. I'm looking for something the culprit could have used to hit you with.
Sword.
Take that!
I have it. There was indeed one such object lying here in this hallway. A prop sword.
Are you talking about this thing here?
Yes, although we did find it at the kidnapper's hideout. Wait, yes! It's possible that the culprit took it with him after using it on me.
To leave no evidence behind, right?
Correct. It may be worth a more thorough examination yet.
Okay, so what test do you want to run on the sword?
Luminol! The culprit was wearing a costume at the time, so a fingerprint analysis is useless. Let's run a luminol test. It's possible that some of my blood found its way onto this. Agent Long, may I ask for your cooperation in this matter? Like I have a choice. Sheena, call the lab boys. Understood. Except for a dab on the left side, it would appear that the blade is spotless.
So it must have been the left side of the prop sword that hit you then, right? Yay! Okay, I'll update the recreation with a new piece of info.
Okay.
I'm assuming... Okay. Edward said he was hit on the right side of the head with the left side of the blade. But the right side is here, and the left side of the blade is here, so that's impossible. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Yes?
Eureka!
Finally, I found a clear contradiction of the facts about this sword. Except for a bit on the left side, this prop sword is absolutely spotless. However, if the culprit had used his left hand, the blood would be on the opposite side.
The opposite side? Huh?
If the culprit held the sword in his left hand, then the sword's right side would hit.
I see. But if the blood was on the left side of the sword, right? Oh, but the blood was on the left side of the sword, right? Which means that he used his right hand to hit you.
Exactly. This prop sword has a large handguard attached to the hilt. It would be impossible to hold it with two hands while wearing a costume with such big hands. Therefore, if it couldn't be the left hand or both hands, it must have been the right.
I'll change the data to reflect a right-handed swing.
Not yet, Kay. There's no sense in changing anything yet. If you change the parameters to its right hand, it would only create a new contradiction.
Changing the prop sword to be in the culprit's right hand would conflict with what?
Gun. Gun, 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 gun.
I don't know which gun they want. That's the missing ones. Probably not that. Victim's costume. No. Head was left in the... Like, is it this? Is it this? Because he has a gun?
Okay. The Bad Badger already holds a gun in his right hand, so he can't hold a sword in addition.
Hey, that's right! Then what now? If it wasn't his left hand or... If it wasn't in his left hand or his right hand,
It means that the one who struck me could not have been the bad badger. Are you paying attention, Lance? Mr. Deacon could not have been the one who struck me, which leaves only you as our primary suspect. Fine, it was me! I hit you! It appears that you lied to me yet again, but see how quickly they catch up to you, Lance.
Wait, isn't Lance left-handed?
Yes, but that's what makes the deception all the more interesting. He used his right hand to make it look like Mr. Deacon had been the one to strike me. For you see, firing a gun with one's non-dominant hand is difficult, but the level of dexterity isn't required to swing a prop sword.
Assault with a deadly weapon, indeed. Even if it's a prop sword, it drew blood.
Hey, please input this new data. The one who hit me from behind was Lance. Or should I say, the proto-badger.
You got it. Here I go.
Cursed! Now we have a faithful recreation of the situation around the attack on me.
All right. All we have to do is examine this new recreation and...
And what exactly is so funny, Agent Long? That amusing little gadget. It sure packs a punch, right, Sheena? Yes, it was all I could do to hold my laughter in.
Hey, don't make fun of little thief, you mean old werewolf. He and Mr. Edgeworth bring out the best in each other.
You've had your little fun, but now it's my turn. I sat quietly by listening. But the crude conclusions you keep spewing don't whet this wolf's appetite. There's no guarantee that your toy will always show the real situation at any given time. All it displays is whatever information you put in there, right?
Well, when you put it that way...
Your suppositions are wrong. It's not your fault, so I'm going to let you in on this. There's a trick to this haunted house. And what may that be exactly? A trick beyond what your tiny imaginations can produce. Sheena! Here you are. Now then, what you missed, girlie, is written right here in this pamphlet.
The Disappearing Badger. 7 Wonders of the Haunted House.
The 7 Wonders of the Haunted House. The Disappearing Badger.
What is this?
I'd say that someone around here is fond of theatrics. And as you can see, they set a doll down at the end of this hallway for that purpose. Basically, the blue badger you saw was just a stupid doll. How can this be? Guess that throws your whole theory about it being your attacker right out the window.
But that can't be right. Maybe the culprit hid the doll somewhere. And then he laid down and pretended to be it instead.
If the criminal couldn't even hide himself in the hallway, how could he hide a giant doll? Don't you get it now? Thanks to your presumptions. Your logic started off weak and led you to the completely wrong conclusion. Grr. Now get off your high horse. Stallion!
Mr. Edgeworth?
Okay, I wonder if you could please input the new information for me. You don't know when to quit, do you? I can't quit. Not until I can declare that I found the truth. Agent Long, for the additional information, you have my thanks. There you go again. We'll see if I care.
Okay, I'm updating the recreation now.
Bro's hiding something? Indeed.
Very suspicious. Two whole badgers. That looks really weird. Look at how it changes from the blue badger into the proto badger all of a sudden.
If the slumped over badger was just a doll, where was my attacker hiding?
Well, that's what we're going to find out, right? Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go!
Yes, let's. This recreation can't be right, which means there must be a contradiction somewhere.
Whee! Run, Edgeworth. This is where the proto badger shows up in our recreation.
Yes, now the question is, where did he come from?
Yeah, but there's no place to hide in our current model.
There must be an inconsistency somewhere.
Mirror? When you take a look around, it almost feels more like a house of mirrors.
Indeed. Who's ever heard of this many mirrors inside of a haunted house before?
Well, at least we know this is the real crime scene, thanks to the mirror shards. Like a mirror house. Haunted house hybrid, this place is full of mirrors. Hey, wait! These shards. There's something different about them.
Oh?
The ones we found earlier are thicker than the shards from these mirrors on the wall. And look, there's some sort of design on the back, too.
The pieces from this costume are certainly different from the other mirrors. What does this mean? Different from the mirrors on the walls. Very thick and has a design on the back. Okay. This blue badger is just a doll for use in this haunted house.
I bet the one who killed the blue badger was the bad badger, right?
According to the blue badger's Bible, it says that they are each other's worst enemy.
All because one's an ally of justice and the other's a vile criminal with a gun?
Perhaps they were just destined to battle each other. Much like the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate.
He just has to talk about them all the time. It's crazy.
Okay, well, I guess I have to deduce this. They're not really giving me any other options.
Deduce.
Costumes. There's only one of each badger in the park. Is it that there's only one of each badger in the park?
Eureka!
Hold on a second here. There's something wrong with this blue badger.
Huh? Like what?
The way the belt on him is opposite to how it should be. Did you make a mistake?
That's crazy. Wait, I didn't even... Huh?
I didn't... Oh, it is.
That can't be! I inputted the image data exactly as it is in the pamphlet.
So then, why is the blue badger dressed up in reverse?
The blue badger in the pamphlet is wearing his belt in the reverse direction.
The blue badger in this pamphlet photo is in reverse to the regular blue badger. But why? There must be some sort of explanation.
Okay.
Okay, do you remember what you said earlier?
What I said earlier about what?
About how this building might as well have been a house of mirrors.
A house of mirrors? Oh, that would explain the reversed or mirror image!
Yes, this blue badger might be nothing more than the reflected image of a real one.
Then was the blue badger you saw just a reflection?
When I looked down this hall, I thought it was perfectly straight. However, if there was a mirror...
Oh, then it would actually form an L shape, right?
Precisely. I was deceived. The hallway was almost pitch black. And there was a beam in the way that obstructed my view of the other hallway.
Wait, but why build this place like that? It sounds pretty pointless to me.
Okay, this house is just another attraction at an amusement park. They created a mirror wall for a very specific purpose, one that I can point out to you. This was the reason they built a mirror wall.
Question mark?
As it is written in the pamphlet, the main draw of this attraction is the mystery of the disappearing badger.
You mean they built the mirror for that trick alone? But you said you saw the badger, so it was definitely still there.
That was true at the time, however. Doing this allows someone to make the blue badger disappear in a flash.
Move the mirror wall, move the blue badger, dim the lamps.
Move
the wall?
Remove a reflected image. Simply move the mirror. First, the mirror was constructed so that it could be moved. Then, beyond where the mirror was, an empty hallway had to be created.
Oh, so when they want people to see the blue badger, they would open the mirror. And when they wanted to hide it, they simply had to close it again.
This explains why the other side of these fragments have a design on them.
Ah, and if the pattern is the same as the other walls in this hallway, then when the mirror is closed, it would blend in with the rest of the...
then when the mirror is closed, it would blend in with the rest of the walls. This is the mirror trick that this haunted house employs. And this also proves the existence of a hiding place for the culprit.
Huh? How so?
Think about it, Kay. There was a place that was outside of my field of vision.
The culprit kept out of sight by hiding here.
Take that!
There was a very large blind spot, one I could not see beyond, and it was here. If my assailant hid on the other side of the movable mirror,
then you wouldn't be able to see him. He didn't even need to do anything to the blue badger doll.
Exactly. All he had to do was wait for me on the other side of the mirror.
Wait, hold on. I just thought of something.
Yes?
Well, shouldn't the mirror wall be broken right now in reality?
Since we have a few shards of it, we can probably assume it is. Yes, it is most definitely broken. The question is, when was it broken? Since we found these inside the victim's costume, that would mean that the victim was here when the mirror was broken. Wait, that sound. Leave the money and go. Now! The sound I heard was most definitely the sound of a mirror breaking. Kay, I'd like you to input some new information.
Ah! Don't scare me like that!
Sorry, but I need you to recreate something for me.
Sure, whatever you need. So, what do you need anyway?
If you could first recreate this hallway just before I entered the dining room.
You got it! Oh, so cute.
Now I believe this is how it was right before I entered the dining room. Although at the time, I thought it was but a single straight hallway. And then I went inside. It was around then that I heard the sound of a mirror shattering.
You heard what? Then...
Yes, I believe it was then that the mirror was broken.
Okay, so then when you stepped outside into the hallway again...
The mirror wall should no longer exist. Kay, please recreate that.
Got it! I like how everyone is just standing here. They're all just waiting. So polite. Wait, but with the mirror gone, the culprit lost his hiding spot. So where did he go in his proto-badger suit, Mr. Edgeworth?
That's easy enough. With the mirror gone, he simply hid himself in the branch hallway.
That's so freaky. I think this about wraps it up. Looks like we finally solved everything.
No, not yet. An even larger contradiction has now reared its head.
Huh?
Perhaps you didn't notice, but this recreation contains a very troubling inconsistency.
The inconsistency between what I saw and the recreation lies... Oh, Lord. I don't know. Ah! There's no badger here. Badgerless.
Take that!
Okay, take a good look at the end of the hall.
Oh, there's no blue badger there.
Exactly. The blue badger that I saw in reality is not here. This is the final point on this long chain of logic, the last remaining contradiction.
So let me get this straight. When you came out of the dining room, you saw a badger, right?
And that is precisely where the final contradiction lies. Something that shouldn't exist was there before me. Who or what do you suppose it was? I believe this is the real identity of our mysterious badger.
Question mark?
Take that!
The badger I saw was, in actuality, the dead victim's body. What? Agent Long, the entirety of my complete logic is my final decisive piece of evidence. The murder happened in the hallway of the haunted house at the time of the drop-off, and you can consider the moment I heard the mirror breaking to be the real time of death for Mr. Deacon. No! Maybe it was due to their fighting, or perhaps it was the life-shattering bullet. But no matter what the cause was, the hallway mirror wall was broken. Huh! You were in the house at the time, right? Are you telling me that you missed the sound of a gunshot? There were a variety of sound effects playing at the time, all for theatrics, I assume. The gunshot must have blended right in. Hi-ya! Now then, I'd like you to recall something for me. Who was it that was with the victim at the haunted house? Who was the one who had used the opportunity to rob the victim of his gun and use it on him? It was you, Lance Amano. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
Busted, indeed. It's not like I had a choice. Oliver turned on me all of a sudden. He snapped and turned violent right after I hung up with you. He shoved me to the ground and straddled me. I fought back as hard as I could, grabbed his gun, and I shot him. The bullet must have went through his body and shattered the mirror. If I hadn't taken his gun and shot him first, I would have been the one you found. He's a hardened criminal. He escaped from jail. See? That's justified self-defense. My boy was only trying to protect himself. That remains to be seen and will have to be resolved in court. Agent Long, I leave the rest to you. As if you were the one in charge around here. Guys, arrest these two and get them out of my sight. Wait! I had nothing to do with the murder! The only person you should be arresting is Lance! That's crazy. Dad! Did you just pass out? Sorry, but you're not slipping away that easily, Mr. Ernest Amano. You tampered with the evidence so that you could cover for your son. What a great dad you are, willing to risk it all. Truly touching. Grr! By the way, do you know why I'm really here? And how could I possibly know the answer to such an asinine question? You wound me. I came all this way from across the sea just to see you, you know. Top 10 anime betrayals real. You came to see me? What's that supposed to mean? I have a few things to ask you, Mr. Amano, about the case from 10 years ago. A case from 10 years ago? Oh, what's the name that you use here for that case? Sheena! It's known as the KG-8 incident. The KG-8 incident. Oh, so you do remember it. Good. Then you'll recall that the trigger in that case was the Amano Group scandal. Specifically, the charge of an internal smuggling ring. Smuggling. There's that word again. At the time, the person that was arrested as the ringleader was Mr. Amano's very own secretary, Mr. Colin Devore.
Oh, Father!
Even though you pushed the crime onto your then secretary, Mr. Devore, I always suspected that you were involved with the smuggling ring, Mr. Amano. Mr. Devore was arrested in place of you, which is why when he broke out, you hid him from the police, right? You hid him in exchange for his silence on your little dirty secret. Now. Please calm down. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. Pretend to be ignorant all you want. We're taking you down to the precinct anyway for a nice long chat. What the? Who the heck was that? Hey, yo! I'll take him down to the precinct if you don't mind. And who the heck are you? I'm Jacques Portsman. I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Oh, Jacques. Thank goodness you're here. Don't jerk me around. This is an Interpol case, so keep your paws off my suspect. Sorry, but I can't comply. I've got the backing of the prosecutor's office. See, in this country, we prosecutors work with the police to bring cases to court. So if you could please cooperate with me here, that'd be great. Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? Sorry, but I hate prosecutors. The whole lot of you. Guys, arrest the two suspects. Sir! Oh, I almost forgot. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, is it? I'd like to thank you. Thank me? Yeah, for working so hard to fulfill my goal.
Hey, is that any way to thank someone? And what the heck is that supposed to mean?
You were so relentless with Lance. You were so relentless with Lance that you forced Ernest to tamper with the evidence. Thanks to that, I finally had a legitimate reason to arrest him. So how does it feel to bite the hand that feeds you? Hand that feeds me? I'm not sure I follow. It's no use pretending with me. You're the one, right? You're the corrupt prosecutor that's working for Mr. Amano in the smuggling ring, right? No, I would never do such a thing. What the heck? Our intel's never wrong. In your prosecutor's office, there's definitely someone working with the ring. Ah, so Agent Long suspected my relation to Mr. Amano. That must be the real reason behind his antagonistic attitude. On top of that, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? There were non-stop rumors flying around about forged evidence with that guy. You're not twisting the truth behind closed courtroom doors too, are you? The courtroom is a place where the truth is revealed. Ha 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 ha! Well, don't worry. It's not only you. The whole lot of you can't be trusted. A prosecutor who never lost in 40 years? Every defendant must be found guilty. Fueled by that kind of thinking, is it any wonder that courts produce nothing but falsities and lies? It would seem that his disdain extends beyond just me.
He's got beef with my mans. No.
Ironic that he's working with Franzi, though. Prosecutors, the courts. Why is this man so angry with us all?
Defamation of character, real. Arrest yourself, Long.
Rest assured, the next time we meet, I won't be so forgiving.
Ugh, they're so cute.
So don't you forget it. Please, wait. Agent Sheena. Why does Agent Long hate all prosecutors so? Long is the head of the long-honored House of Long in Zhengfa. The heads of all police-related divisions in that country were of Long blood. Were? What do you mean by that? Aren't they still? The duo, I know, they're so cute. They were revered, but that was long ago. They don't hold that sort of sway anymore. And it was all because of the courts. How could that be? A prosecutor once withheld and tampered with the evidence one of the Long detectives found. That evidence's purity was tarnished, and cost the Long family its honor and trust. But not all prosecutors are like that. Even so, Long will never respect the court again, or any prosecutor. So Agent Long is a man who hates all courts, and is unwilling to forgive prosecutors. Man, what a piece of work that guy is. Come on, Jim, we'd better catch up. Yeah. We've still got to deliver that thing to the old man, after all. Rest in pieces, Jim. Detective Gumshoe, I believe it's time we wrapped up and headed out ourselves. Yeah! Are you going home, Mr. Edgeworth? No, I've done nothing but be entangled in one mess after another since my return. If it's alright with you, can you drop me off at my office? No problem, sir. Yeah, 07's for Jim.
Excuse me?
Yes, what is it?
Hi, that is... Thank you very much.
Ah, it's okay. No need to thank me, pal. Just doing my job as a detective.
I guess I was fooled pretty badly by Lance. Oh, cruel fate! What's a woman to do when she's been hurt by the one she loves? And to think I never realized my father was right there. I never said anything to him. I knew it! I'm a failure! There she goes again, talking to herself.
Miss Pops, I wonder if you know why your father participated in the kidnapping.
No, I have no idea.
Your father died while he was trying to stop Lance, which means that from the beginning, he had no interest in the staged self-abduction.
Can you still check the lake? I remember there being a cute Easter egg there. I've been waiting for the opportunity for them to let me walk over there, and I don't know if they'll let me, and I'm upset about it. Wait, then why did he...
I believe it was because of your presence, Miss Pops.
Me?
Lance realized that the two of you were related, which is why he used you as a hostage to coerce Mr. Devore into cooperating.
Father.
As a felon, he could not tell you of his real relation to you. However, as the Amano family butler, at the very least, he was able to watch over you. It was all he could do, but that was the shape of his overflowing love for you. Go on, speak your mind.
That is... Thank you very much.
You're welcome, although there is no need to thank me.
No, Lauren, stop! I mean, this man's so much older than you!
That's crazy. Get away!
Looks like you've completely stolen her away, Mr. Edgeworth.
Way to go, sir!
Your technique is way beyond the level of the Great Thief.
You're still going to prison, Pops, real. What are you going on about now?
Wow, your deducing skills may be sound, but you have no street smarts.
That's Mr. Edgeworth for you.
Yeah, I mean, he still hasn't figured out who I am at all. If you haven't remembered in all this time, I guess I'm just going to have to say it. This isn't the first time we've met, you know?
What do you mean, pal? Mr. Edgeworth, how do you know this girl?
Looks like you totally forgot me too, Gummy.
Gummy? Gummy!
Here, maybe this'll jog your memories. I promised I'd return this to you one day, remember?
That single piece of cloth took me back far into my past. That fateful day 7 years ago when I first met the then child Kay. And Detective Gumshoe. I'm going to scream! I'm going to scream! You can't leave me on a cliffhanger like that! Ah!
Well, you know, we've got 30 minutes. Let's rock it. Turnabout reminisce.
Let's go. Hey Faraday, the young lady who calls herself the second Yatakarasu. The piece of cloth that she conjured up has taken me back to many years ago. 7 years earlier. Also, guys, we get to see one of my other favorite characters here, Lock-In. She was an accomplice and complicit to the whole thing, but she might get a plea deal in exchange for testifying against Lance and Ernest. True. Yeah, that's right. I did it. I killed the guy. But it was the great thief Yatagarasu that told me to do it.
I asked the defendant, just what exactly are you trying to say?
Don't you get it? I know the true identity of the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu is the man standing over there at the prosecutor's bench! Are you saying that I'm the Yatagarasu? Don't you dare deny it! You told me to kill him when you snuck into the embassy!
Are you claiming that Mr. Faraday is the Yatagarasu?
Mr. Rell, I think we've heard just about enough out of you. Your Honor, please listen to me! I'm telling the truth! You've gotta believe me! In accordance with the defendant's accusation, a new prosecutor shall be called to replace Mr. Faraday. This court will be in recess until the new prosecutor is ready. Mr. Faraday
is not my favorite. Look, it's Little Miles! Oh!
It's almost time for me to enter the courtroom. So it is that my first assignment as a prosecutor will be as a replacement for a prosecutor who has been accused by the defendant.
Baby Miles! Yes, younger Edgy. He's so cute. Look at him. I think I know who this is, but I'm not 100%, but we're gonna go for it.
Edgeworth. I don't remember what voice I gave him. Sir.
That's my man's! That's my man's! Look at him!
Have you read over all the documents regarding this trial? Yes, sir. I've memorized everything there is to know. Very good. The paperwork for the prosecutor's substitution is just about complete. Edgeworth, always bear in mind that as your mentor, I, Manfred von Karma, will accept nothing short of perfection. I understand, sir. To have the chance to stand in court at such an early stage in my career, I am honored and proud. As I have watched over your studies, I am giving you this very rare chance. Prove yourself. Crush the defendant's pathetic lies into oblivion. Yes, sir.
Look at him!
That such a legendary prosecutor will be watching and judging my performance. I have to be perfect in every way.
Oh boy.
This is so good! I could drink a whole gallon! I've never heard of water that tastes that good. Maybe I'll give him a minute.
Wait, I can do this.
I tried. Does he plan on gulping an entire reservoir dry? Save some for the fish, my guy, real. Excuse me, madam, but is something the matter?
I just thought someone would have brought hors d'oeuvres by now.
But this is a courthouse. It would be quite atypical to provide hors d'oeuvres here.
Are you sure? Someone poured me a fresh cup of coffee last time I was here.
What the heck does she think a courthouse is for?
That's crazy. Also, the pictures of the judges, insane.
Aren't these great? Daddy made all these.
Awesome! But didn't you get fired right after you made them? That's crazy.
Yeah, I did. I spent the same amount of money on this model as it cost to build a real thing. My boss wasn't very happy with me.
Hey, Daddy, didn't you say you built a secret mechanism inside of it?
I'll tell you about it someday when you're older. A secret mechanism? Maybe he installed it as payback for getting fired. It could be trouble. Now I'm curious.
He's so little. Is that the...
Guys, it's the Thinker! A bookshelf, huh? Compendium of Laws for Beginners. I don't have the time to read this and second-guess myself now. Today's trial should have ended in just 1 minute.
Thank you for the hydrate and stretch, Draven.
Everybody hydrate and stretch.
Ooh. I do be cracking. Ah!
Because the defendant was picked up by the security camera, correct? Exactly. The killer had the gall to say that he only killed because he was instructed to do so. Even more outrageous is his claim that the case prosecutor Byrne Faraday gave the order.
Especially insane considering there are only 2 judges in this universe. No, that's not correct. There's 3. Because there's the one in, what is it? In Kurain. That's the same universe still. There's 3.
Huh! Faraday, such a fool! He's been cornered by his very own prey. Sir, are you an acquaintance of Mr. Byrne Faraday? He's a pathetic man who speaks nothing but nonsense. Nonsense? He once tried to explain to me a way of punishing those who cannot be brought to court. Those who cannot be brought to court? That is nonsense, for no man is above the law.
True, only 2 in Japan-California. Yes, true.
Well, there are always a few exceptions. However, there is no reason to even deal with such individuals. A prosecutor is the guardian of the court, one with no obligation to outside matters. Thus, there is no reason to deal with such individuals, I see. Edgeworth, disgracing yourself as Faraday will not be forgiven. Have no fear, I will not let you down, sir. In place of the accused prosecutor Byrne Faraday, I'll prove the defendant's guilt. Very good. I've secured an hour of recess for you to prepare to do just that. Show them all the power of Von Karma.
Today's trial.
So, have you achieved a firm understanding of the case? Yes, sir. I have memorized everything that is written down in the case files. Well then, explain the case to me. I want to see if you really know what you're talking about. Understood. A murder was committed on September 8th in front of the Kodopian embassy. The victim, Mr. Deid Mann, was a staff member at the embassy. I love the name Deid Mann! Peak. The defendant in this case, Mr. Mac Rell, was held for questioning the night of the incident as he was deemed suspicious. He was quickly placed under arrest for possession of the murder weapon, a gun. Furthermore, at the time of the murder, the great thief Yatagarasu had successfully infiltrated the Kodopian embassy as well. At first, Rell claimed that he himself was the Yatagarasu.
The name puns are on point. It's so funny. Also, the silhouette is giving Phoenix. Just saying.
But that he did not kill Deid Mann. I wonder what he expected to gain from such a desperate lie. It's possible that he wants to go down while in the spotlight if he is found guilty. There is truly no limit to people's insanity. But I digress. Continue, Edgeworth. Yes, sir. During the trial, the prosecution presented the security footage that captured the murder. The footage clearly showed Mr. Rell as the murderer. The act of Mr. Rell firing the gun could be clearly seen from the visitors' gallery. Upon seeing that, the defendant retracted his statement and admitted to the murder. I did it because I was told to, by the real Yatagarasu, Byrne Faraday. That sounds about right. However, you've forgotten one thing. While this may appear to be simply the murder of a Kodopian embassy staff member, people are accurately referring to it as the second KG-8 incident. The second KG-8 incident? I'm very sorry, sir. I fear I failed to study hard enough. Well, even among the police, it's information that only a select few are privy to. Could you please enlighten me, sir? Sir, what do you mean by the second KG-8 incident? In order for me to tell you that, you must first learn about the original case. Take a look at these documents. This is a 3-year-old newspaper.
Reference material regarding the KG-8 incident. I received them from my mentor.
I've heard of the Amano Group scandal before, correct? Yes, I have. The secretary of Ernest Amano, the Amano Group's director, was arrested, under suspicion of smuggling. Correct. CCU was an employee of the Amano Group, and the sole witness to the smuggling operation. It was she who brought the crime to light.
Look at these documents! Look at them!
However, Miss Yu was silenced before she could testify in court. Wasn't a Kodopian embassy staff member arrested for the murder?
Victim is CCU. A shadow over the Amano Group. What is his relation to the smuggling ring? Kodopian embassy staff member Manny Kochin found not guilty. Are we back? Yeah, sorry, my stream crashed. I was on the wrong Wi-Fi again. Let me know if you guys can hear me again now. I think we're back. We back. Yippee! Back!
Yes, a Kodopian by the name of Manny Kochin was the suspect. However, due to the lack of evidence, the case went unresolved. Lack of evidence? Ha! If only I was in charge of the case. I would have done everything in my power to prove his guilt. To make sure that all criminals are found guilty, my mentor really is dedicated. Faraday was the prosecutor on the case then, and he was as pathetic as ever. Mr. Faraday was in charge of the KG-8 incident as well. That's right. And now, once again, the victim of the case you are currently assigned to was someone who was scheduled to testify against the smuggling organization. And just like last time, the victim was murdered right before he was to testify. You're catching on. Oh, that was Edgeworth. Oops. The victim was murdered just before his day in court against the smuggling organization. Events are occurring almost exactly the same way as they did in the KG-8 incident. So that's why it's being called the second KG-8 incident. Yes, yet there is one difference between the two incidents. What would that be? The so-called noble thief that is sending everyone into an uproar. The great thief Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu? I'd better find out more. What is this? Oh, it's just the paper. Okay. If it is true that the Yatagarasu showed up at the Kadopian embassy, what could he or she have been after? No doubt to steal any suspicious accounting records and release them publicly. Or more likely, to steal secrets from the Kadopian embassy itself. Clearly, protective custody isn't a thing in Japanifornia. Absolutely not. Since the item that the Yatagarasu stole from there was sent to the police. What was it that the Yatagarasu sent to the police? I don't know the details. Anything related to the Yatagarasu is getting the top secret treatment. Still, I find it very ironic. By returning the stolen item to the police, it was proof positive that the Yatagarasu had infiltrated the embassy on the same day the staff member was killed. Criminals have a way of incriminating themselves, wouldn't you say? That would have been the first time the Yatagarasu has left evidence behind, correct? Yes, indeed. If you wish to learn more about the Yatagarasu, then I suggest you ask Faraday. Mr. Faraday? He happens to be the prosecutor in charge of the Yatagarasu case as well. He's the prosecutor in charge of both the KG-8 incident and the Yatagarasu case. Mr. Faraday really has a lot on his plate.
Child!
What is it, little girl?
You're scary, mister.
That's crazy. Did you need something?
I want to trade these coins with you. Baby girlie, look at her, she's so small.
A fistful of dimes, quarters, and pennies, but it looks like you've exactly $1. Is this what you want?
Oh, she's so cute. Thanks, that's exactly what I needed.
Could that child be here to watch the trial? How disrespectful for a child like that to be running around inside the courthouse. Does no one have respect for this country's judicial system anymore? The paperwork for the prosecutor substitution is complete. Why, do you even know how much time there is left before the trial resumes? I'm so sorry. I can have you mopping up this courthouse instead of protecting it in an instant. Oh. It's no bother, sir. Not being completely prepared could prove to be a perfect handicap for me. A proud one you are. You'd better collect the evidence from Faraday and prepare yourself. It's time for your debut, Edgeworth. Edgeworth's debuting! Let's go! Oh, they're so cute. Just what is going on? Why isn't Faraday here yet? How is it possible that the defense is not prepared yet either? Bailiff, where's Mr. Faraday? I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. Judge has legs! Ah, you must be the one Mr. Von Karma recommended. I hear this will be your first trial. I look forward to seeing how you will perform. Oh, by the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? I could have sworn that I heard a popper going off. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. Sir, it looks like the trial is about to resume. However, yes, it'll be all but impossible to prove the witness a liar without the evidence from Faraday. What is that blasted buffoon up to? It's an emergency, sirs! Look at our guy! Silence! There shall be no yelling in the sacred hall of law. Bailiff, remove that man from this courtroom at once. Please, wait, you have to listen to me. There's an emergency. Defendant lobby number 2, Mr. Faraday and the defendant. The two of them, they're both dead, Your Honor. What? Dun dun dun.
Crazy. Courthouse specials, fast food and milk. Hot dog, $7. Beef jerky, $9. Ham sandwich, $8. Orange juice, $9. $9. Milk, $7. Swiss roll, $6. That's crazy. Young judges for justice. But it's an old judge. You see that? Do you see that? Do you see him? Him! That's my guy. Guys, that's my guy.
Stay back. Ugh. No one's allowed on the crime scene, period. Just who does this oddball think he is?
Uncle Bad, it's him!
Oh, he looks so good. This is becoming quite the hotspot. The prices in the machine are borderline extortionate. It's crazy. Isn't she Mr. Vell's defense attorney?
Ew, there's ants. Gross.
Hey, you! No running in the hallway, pal! And who are you to tell me what to do? I'll never find out what's going on like this. It's time for some civil discourse.
Ants.
This sofa looks like it's seen its fair share of use, and it looks like another part of the courthouse is visible from the window. Ugh! My eyes have locked with my reflection's eyes in the barred window. As a student of Von Karma, I refuse to back down. Edgeworth? I won.
That's crazy. Okay.
Interesting. They're selling special court-themed food products here. Many of them seem sort of troublesome and suspicious. Objection, I suppose.
Court-themed? What does a ham sandwich have to do? Okay.
And you are? Who, me? Hey, pal. It's common courtesy to tell someone your name first before asking theirs. He won a staring contest against himself. I don't know how he does it, but, you know, pop off, Edgeworth. Point taken. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a district prosecutor. A prosecutor? I've never seen a prosecutor as young as you, pal. I've told you my name. Now would you mind telling me yours? Detective Dick Gumshoe. And just recently, I achieved my dream of becoming a detective. More than a dream. It's what I was born to do. Wait, maybe I should check and make sure I'm not really in some crazy dream first. This detective is entirely too excited to be at a murder scene. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling me what you know about the incident? You know that I don't have to tell you anything, right? I know that, but it would behoove you to fill me in on what you know. Wow, you're a proud one for such a youngster, aren't you? Well, anyway, Detective Bad is the one in charge, so you're just gonna have to ask him for all the details, okay? As for me, I was guarding the door to defendant lobby number 2. So you were on guard detail. Did you notice anything strange while you were on duty? Well, I freaked out when I heard a gunshot, and then I kind of froze. You're a detective and a measly gunshot scared you that much. Then again, I can hardly claim to not know what it's like to hear one at close range. Then Detective Bad came running to the scene. We went into lobby number 2 together, and both men were lying there dead. Is that everything? Yeah, that's it. I was in charge of the hallway the whole time. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Interesting. Other than the gunshot, he didn't hear a single sound of commotion.
Was in hall on guard duty. Other than gunshot, didn't hear a sign of struggle. Okay.
Do you have a minute? You know, I'm not really into talking to people I don't know. Especially at a time like this. I apologize for not introducing myself before bothering you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I was to take Mr. Faraday's place in court. Edgeworth, huh? Never heard of you. So Faraday's substitute is a newbie, huh? I'll have you know, madam, that I studied under Manfred von Karma. Do not take me for some naive novice. Do not take me for some naive novice? So you're a student of on karma. I should have... Those clothes are a dead giveaway. Stop right there. These are the garments of one who gallantly presents the facts. Thanks for the great laugh, but try not to make me laugh so much, okay? I wasn't trying to do anything of the sort. Just kidding. I was just goofing around. By the way, do you know who I am? My name is Callisto Yu. Rude, I know. And if you're telling the truth, then we were about to go head-to-head in court. Ah, but of course. I have heard much about you, Miss Yu. But of course! I've heard much about you. You're a regular Shakespeare. What's with the bald stare? Did I say something funny? I'd like you to update me on the situation. I don't really know anything. Why don't you try talking to those detectives over there? I'm perceiving, I see. If that is the case, then why are you here? What is so funny? It's just the way you speak is so tactless. The person I was going against in court until only a little while ago was just murdered. It's not like I could go back into the courtroom pretending as though nothing happened. That's a good point. I apologize for asking such an insensitive question. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. Uncle Ben! Uncle Ben! Excuse me, but who are you? Detective Tyrell Bad. Homicide. I'm going to give him the yeehaw accent. I was informed of the situation and came as quickly as possible. So how did you arrive and inspect the body before me? Faraday requested for me to testify in the trial. Plain and simple. Mr. Faraday requested that you be here. He's cool. I love him. I've already contacted HQ about the situation. I've got nothing to say to you, kid. Kid! Yeah, Southern drawl, let's go! I'm Mr. Faraday's substitute in today's trial. Therefore, I insist that you update me on the situation. I can't back down here. I have a right to know. Do I need to teach you a thing or two about how to talk to adults, kid? Is he threatening me? Is he going for his gun? It's just a mirror. How dare he trick me like that? Faraday was stabbed to death with some kind of blade, and he had a gun in his hand. The other man, Mr. Mac Rell, was shot and killed. He was found holding a bloody knife in his hand. Bro is 75% chin? I know, it's great. Was there anyone else who went into defendant lobby number 2? Yeah, the big lug over there. His name is Gumshoe. Oh, he's so cute. He was in charge of guarding the place. He's claiming that no one else entered the room. If that's the case, then they must have killed each other, correct? Maybe. Such impudence. This guy is really testing my patience. Why was I not informed that you were going to testify in court? Homicides aren't my only gig. The Yatagarasu case is also one of my assignments. So you were called upon to comment on the Yatagarasu's characteristics, in order to assess if Mr. Faraday really was the Yatagarasu or not. Well, well, looks like it might just have a brain after all in that head of yours, son. Son? I'm not your son, Pops. Miss Yu! There's someone here who wishes to see you. Who is it? A Cadopian Embassy staff member by the name of Manny Kochin. What? He's so small. He's tiny. What's going on? Detective Bad and Miss Yu's moods just changed all of a sudden. Wait a second. Wasn't Manny Kochin... I'll be right there. It's nice to see you again, Miss Yu. Why are you here? I have no desire to ever see you again. Now. Actually, would you mind stepping outside for a brief chat? Fine, let's go. Bad. Bon Karma. It's been a long time. I knew you would show up. You usually do when the Yatagarasu is involved, and I see this case as no exception. Do you know Detective Bad, sir? Yes, he's like an old bloodhound that never leaves the scene of a crime. If only he would get a promotion and move on. It's the crime scene where a detective is most useful and effective. It's not like I don't know that. Moving on, though, Bad. The man that I just passed by. Was he not the suspect from the KG8 incident? So I was right. Just what is that man doing, wandering around here? That Faraday. I can't believe he let such an easy catch get away. Imbecile! I would have proved his guilt in 3 minutes. Von Karma, I think you've said enough for now. It's in poor taste to speak like that about the departed. Very well. Back on topic. I'm placing Edgeworth in charge of the investigation here.
It's my little girl! Oh, she's so tiny! Papa, how can you place him in charge?
Franziska, what are you doing here?
I'm here for summer vacation. What else? Oh, she's so little, so tiny, so baby.
Franziska von Karma. So she's here on vacation from Germany. She's the daughter of Manfred von Karma and a student of his who is also junior to me.
You're the one who's junior to me, and don't you forget it! Tiny.
Not conveniently avoiding the bar examination, are you?
If you were able to pass, then I'll have absolutely no trouble at all. I'll never allow myself to lose to you. Never.
Why does she always have to be this competitive?
Anyway, Papa. Casually breaking the fourth wall, she could read his mind. Are you really assigning Miles Edgeworth to cover the case?
Yes, I am. Why do you ask?
Well, you know, I'm close to becoming a prosecutor myself. And I'm 100% confident that I can do a better job than him.
That's just like Franziska. She has no problem bad-mouthing someone right in front of them. Bad. Yeah. These two will be conducting the investigation. What? You want me to let both of these kids loose on the crime scene?
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. That's crazy. Her next to Gummy, I know the height difference is crazy.
This is a perfect opportunity for them to work on their prosecutorial skills. A crime scene is not a place for children to be messing around in. I'm the one with the authority over this crime scene, Bad, and I will not tolerate complaining.
Yeah, it's true.
Edgeworth, Franziska, I leave this case to the two of you. Understood, sir.
Yes, Papa.
I'll go take care of the paperwork now. Remember, I'll accept nothing but a perfect report from the both of you. Do not disappoint me. Hold up, Von Karma. I still haven't agreed to this.
Miles Edgeworth.
It's been quite some time, Franziska.
This will be the perfect chance for us to see which of us is truly worthy of the Von Karma name.
Would it kill you to at least say hello?
Long time no see.
Very good.
Just because you became a prosecutor first doesn't mean you can act all proud.
She hasn't changed a bit.
Miles Edgeworth, as I was saying, we shall see which one of us is worthy of the Von Karma name.
For crying out loud, I've been reduced to a babysitter.
He's so mad.
It's like Mr. Von Karma was successful in convincing the detective.
She doesn't have a full whip yet. I know. I like how her crops turned into a whip. It's so cute. It evolves. I bet Manfred bought her the big whip after she passed her bar exam. That's my headcanon.
It's just like him. He never fails. Now, I'd appreciate it if you could quickly run me through the facts, Detective Bad. You're better off checking things out on your own. Very well. Seems like getting help from Detective Bad will be a most arduous task. Amazing. It's the only real explanation that they killed each other simultaneously.
Miles Edgeworth, you should listen to someone until they're finished talking.
What are you talking about?
I'll only say it one more time. This is a competition to see who is truly worthy of the Von Karma name.
A competition?
The person that figures out the truth first wins.
So the person who doesn't discover the truth is a dishonor to the name.
Exactly. I don't care that you became a prosecutor before me. I simply refuse to hear any more foolish things come from your foolishly foolish mouth. Miles Von Karma. Low-key. He was adopted, I think. I think he was officially adopted. And welcome back, Kimono. What kind of food did you have?
Fine. Whatever makes you happy.
Can I take that as you accepting my challenge?
Once again, whatever makes you happy.
Ha! Well then, let's begin our investigation, shall we? I'm going to find the perfect evidence and prettily present it like the professional I am.
Competing to discover the truth behind a crime. How delightfully childish. You kids over there, hold it! Kid!
Ha! Serves you right, Miles. He just called you a kid.
I said kids, kid.
How dare you call me a kid as well?
Good thing her saying fool isn't a trick.
That's her catchphrase. That's her whole thing. Whipping and foolish fool.
I'll do what I please and I won't allow you to cause a ruckus on my crime scene. Hey, big guy. You're gonna watch over these two. Yes, sir! Detective Bad, sir! Now do what I say from now on, kids, okay?
You'd better not get in our way, Scruffy. You'll feel the bite of my whip if you do.
Yeek! Then you, prosecutor boy! Let's get your investigation started already, alright? Great. Now even that detective is treating me like a child. Alright, it's time to get investigating. Get a move on, prosecutor boy! My name is Miles Edgeworth, and if you were to call me prosecutor boy one more time, it will be my duty as a prosecutor to look into your monthly salary. What?
That's crazy.
And what would you do with my salary after you saw how much it was? That's up to you now, isn't it? Really? Sounds good, pal. He's so naive.
They're so cute.
Detective Bad, may I have a word with you? What is it? It appears that both a knife and a gun were used as murder weapons. Yeah, it does. That leads us to our first question of the investigation.
It's always Gummy's salary. I know, the poor boy. This is why he can only have instant noodles.
Where did the men acquire the weapons? The gun was inside of Faraday's bag. It was a piece of evidence that was presented in the trial earlier today. It was used to kill the Cadopian Embassy staff member. But I never heard anything about the knife. Mr. Rell was being held by the police. There's no way he could have brought it in. Which means it's possible that Faraday had the knife on him from the start as well. Could it have been a piece of evidence that had yet to be presented? But then, why doesn't Detective Bad know about it?
And they left it loaded, I know.
Wait, what if? It's possible that Mr. Faraday brought the knife in under the guise of prosecutorial evidence. He could have then brought it out and attacked Mr. Rell with it. Huh. Maybe you got a brain in there after all, kid. Is he going to treat me like a child forever? It looks like Mr. Faraday attacked Mr. Rell first, who then counterattacked. That's the only logical conclusion you can draw from a scene like this. Not yet. I feel that it's much too early to be drawing conclusions already. I must first find conclusive evidence, so just to protect the honor of the Von Karma name.
But I think that's where we will end it for today. We will progress with the investigation next time. Let me see if there's anybody we can raid into.